Hi there. Today I want to talk to you about the 2 weeks period, the eclipse portal between the total lunar eclipse at 15 degrees Pisces that we had on September 7th and the up and coming solar eclipse at 29 degrees Virgo coming up on September 21st. This is a very raw, big, powerful, important portal. So what is the symbolism? And I want to take a deep look at the south node, the transiting south node that is currently transiting the sign of Virgo. It's kind of halfway in the sign. It's currently at 18 degrees Virgo. So whenever a transit happens to be at the midpoint of any sign, of any transit, it means it's maturing enough to show us what is the significance of this transit, what is the message, and we're all getting it one way or another. It would depend where it is in your chart, where is the transiting south node. The south node transit is always about showing you what's not working. It's the south node, it's those patterns that have been crystallized, and especially in Virgo, because Virgo is the mind. So what kind of mental patterns have been crystallized for you, wherever it is in your chart, and what you have to pay attention to. Virgo is all about perfection. It's all about perfecting what is not working. It's a sign of healing because it's so interested in doing self-work and constantly improving itself. That's why it's finding faults wherever they are. So the fact that the sun sitting on the south node on September 10th, and then Mercury is sitting on the south node on September 11th, and then around the 13th, Mercury and the Sun are meeting together in the sign of Virgo in a cazimi. This is a conjunction between the two, which signifies kind of an aha moment, realization. What is it that I need to get? What is it that I need to understand? The message is loud and clear. You'll see what's not working for you. And this is all reminding me the book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, who is a Mexican spiritual writer of the Toltec tradition. And he wrote a book called The Four Agreements, and it's all about agreements that we sign with ourselves and with the world without knowing, being very unconsciously trained to do that since our childhood. I want to talk about the first agreement. The first agreement is be impeccable with your word. Now, Mercury sitting on the south node and then Mercury meeting the sun will highlight where it is that we are not impeccable with our word. But what does it mean to be impeccable with your word? So first of all, it means to speak with integrity. Only say what you mean. Only mean what you say. Be in alignment of what it is that you're putting out there. You know, words are magical. Words create the world. We are so used to consuming marketing through fear, through FOMO, because those are words that are designated for us to get anxious to do something, to push us to do something out of fear. But is it a good way to sell something out of fear, to do something out of fear, to respond to fear? We're so trained to do that we never question those methods. We never really question what people do when they gossip. You know, when people gossip about each other, they kind of set out a poisonous air. They put it out there saying something bad about somebody. This is an energy. This is, perhaps it's purposeful or not purposeful. Maybe they're just used to that pattern, not questioning their pattern, just thinking they're moving information, but actually they're moving energy. Every word you say is an energetic vibration. So what are you putting out there? Are you gossiping about others? Are you putting love out there? Are you meaning what you say? Or you just want to please others and get away with something? How do you use your words? And so that container of the south node in Virgo is inviting us, all of us, to check what it is that we're doing in our communication and how we communicate, and be more discerning about what it is that we say, because whatever we say, we create. So how are you talking to yourself? Are you really judgmental? with yourself? Even right now, listening to what I say, are you judging yourself? I bet part of you does, because we all have that judgment part here behind our back saying, oh, you should have done this better, or you're guilty, you should be ashamed of yourself, why did you do that, couldn't you do it better? We all have that part. We were trained to have that part, and some of us are carrying that part all day long, listening to it. And that part of self-judgment is so strong sometimes, and we're not always aware that we are speaking to ourselves harshly. Maybe we wouldn't even speak like that to anybody else. We might say things like, oh, you're stupid, you're such an idiot, you should have done that completely different, you're ugly, your voice is terrible, you'll never succeed. And we believe deep inside, we start believing in those words, because words carry vibration and energy, and we become that judgmental energy, believing in our own narrative. And you know, the internet is full with change your limiting beliefs and reprogram your mind. But how do you do that? So the South Node in Virgo is helping us see and be aware of where it is that we are setting ourselves into processing poisonous words, whether to ourselves or whether we say it to others. Even gossiping, like, oh, she was wearing a terrible dress, she doesn't have a taste when she's wearing that. All those little remarks, they are not words of love, they are not compassionate, because when someone does something, it's usually not as a reaction against us. It's usually representing some pain point that they're going through, if that something was really violating some parts of ourselves, or seeming to be from an anger point of view. So these 2 weeks of the eclipse season, the first eclipse on September 7th was at 15 degrees Pisces, saying, where are you still a victim? Where are you giving your power away? It's a lunar eclipse. You gotta see something. And why are you a victim? Usually we're a victim of our own minds, our own beliefs. So maybe it's a point of illumination to check what it is that you're still in delusion or in illusion with in your life. And the second eclipse coming up on September 21st at 29 degrees Virgo. 29 is a critical degree. It's a completion degree. But this one is a solar eclipse. And a solar eclipse is always giving you some energy, right? It's seeding seeds. It's a new moon, so it's a new beginning. But what kind of a new beginning is it on a 29 degrees? So there is a completion of one era and moving us into a whole different era of being more discerning, being more exact, being more practical, being more accepting, healing the way we communicate, and coming from love. The North Node is transiting in Pisces, inviting us to embody compassion, to embody love, to embody the unity that we are all sharing on this planet. Are we going to buy into the collective dream of fear, which can be the negative part of Pisces, or are we going to change and upgrade and update the way we judge, the way we are communicating, the way we use the word? The word can be white magic or black magic. It depends on your intention. And even if your intention is not conscious, you're still sending out that vibration to the universe. So this is the time to become aware of what it is that you're putting out there. And the more aware you are, the more discernment you have to use your words in a proper way, in a loving way, in a caring way, to embody and create that beautiful life for yourself and for the greater good of all. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please share it with others. And until next time, aloha and take care of yourself.